What is going on, guys? Well, if you jumped into Firestorm today, you might have noticed a few small changes, mainly having to do with the population count to start the game. Now the pre-round timer activates at a 32-player limit, so theoretically the Firestorm round you start may end up only having a max 32-player count. So this is a response to the dwindling player numbers that Battlefield has been experiencing. DICE also has skipped the pre-round timer to the 10-second countdown if the lobby gets full with the max 64-player count to help speed up the game as much as possible. This is all again due to the falling player count that has been happening to Battlefield and has been really taking its toll onto Firestorm as well. Now, this of course opens up a lot of new issues, such as if you get a game where there's only 32 players instead of the standard 64, how much is this going to affect the performance, and are the early parts around the first round basically going to be dead where there's no one really to battle? Is it best to maybe start adjusting the first circle size and make the game start off with a much smaller circle to begin with? What looks like all that is being looked into right now. Part Welsh, one of our community managers, replied to this on Reddit and said, "We're looking into other things that would address that. As soon as we know if it's absolutely possible and can prove it out, I'll come back and show you what that is. I get it though, the game's played best when the plane is full." So it looks like Battlefield, especially Firestorm, is hanging on by a thread. Now, as much as I would love these things to hopefully help the experience, it's really unfortunately not looking good from here, especially considering now this takes DICE's attention from fixing the game to trying to fix something that is already neck deep in trouble. I mean, just already today, I had this weird frame drop, screen freezing issue that I've never seen before in Firestorm. I know we've had some frame drops in the base version of Battlefield for a week or two, but nothing like this. And then, if that's not bad enough, now how is this for you? Players' bodies are basically like expanding and bursting out where you can see them around cover and they're just sticking out so easily. Like, I could hear gunfire in this location where this guy is basically popping out from the rock, and I just knew there was someone there, but then I go over with the mountain where I'm at, and there he is. He's sticking out, his body just like morphing out of the rock. And this has happened to me once before a while ago, but it now seems like all these things are beginning to pick up more and more. It's stuff like this, along with Battlefield not having new content that people want, like maps, is what's killing the game. And as much as I like to keep a positive note on this channel and want Battlefield to succeed, it's just the facts at the end of the day. Because of things like this contributing heavily to the player drop, it's now opening up a bunch of new issues, such as I finally had my first 100+ ping Firestorm game. I hadn't experienced this notification once playing Firestorm since its launch, which tells you that you're going to need to lead your shots in the server because you have such high ping and you need to compensate for that. And since there's no server browser where I can choose to maybe wait a little bit longer in a server that better suits my location, I'm forced to have to play in a server where I'm going to have high ping or play against other players with high ping as well. And now that makes me wonder, when I'm playing Firestorm, if the reason why I can't hit my shots is because I'm just missing my shots or because my ping is too high. And these are all the new issues that end up coming out. And I know a lot of people, I'm sure, out there who deal with 100+ ping consistently and would be rejoicing if they could get anything below maybe 200 or 300. Some of their locations are boo-hoo me, and that's not really my point, because I very much feel for everyone else who, I'm in a good populated area and I'm still having these issues, so I can't even imagine where other people in different locations, what they have to go deal with. So it just overall just completely sucks in my opinion. All this is why you want to deliver a good game and get on top of stuff as early as you can, because it seems like this slippery slope that you get on, it just starts sliding you downhill and there's really nothing stopping you to hit rock bottom. Now, with all that said, I do think Battlefield will see a bit more of a population count once the new maps show up, and just new content in general. Even if it's not the content everyone wants, it's still new content and it will pique interest. Like, I'm sure the new added locations coming to Firestorm will pique more interest, and it will cause the servers to be better filled. Right now, at least for the West Coast servers in the US, when I did play Firestorm today, it seems like I was getting better ping during the afternoon hours than the early hours servers where it would probably be less populated in my location. And I did notice that I didn't have too many games that were under the 64 player count, and when I did, those games were off by like 1 or 2 players, so I had like a 61, 62 player round. So it's going to take a bit more to completely, kill Battlefield and have it bleed out to nothing, especially when you consider that right now it's kind of a dead time with new content. We don't have any new weapons coming out for this week's Tides of War. We're having issues with the game. It is, early on in the week. You got to consider all those issues. It's just, again, unfortunate because if I'm having these problems kind of beginning to show up right now, how much worse is it for everyone on kind of the fringes of where EA and Battlefield can reach with their servers and the locations just in general. So overall, it is a bit unfortunate, but feel free to let me know what you guys think is going on with Firestorm and what you guys are actually doing right now when it comes to Battlefield. Are you even still playing Firestorm in itself? I do think, again, it's a pretty uphill battle that they have, and hopefully they can somehow manage it for the most part and keep Battlefield from maybe not turning into that completely dead game, because that would be unfortunate, and it does make you begin to, think, what new games do I need to be looking into now, because maybe I can't play the one game I do enjoy playing the most, but I can't play at all because literally there are no servers for you to get into a game and actually have a somewhat decent experience. But that is it for you guys today. Again, I always appreciate you guys being here. I am Livin', and I'll catch you guys again later.